Nothing makes a builder happier than the day the crew comes and puts this on because you got that green tag. That's right, we passed our temporary electric final and the Austin Energy Company came and installed my meter. So we actually have power. Since last week when we published, we're now down another week, guys. We've got T-minus 5 weeks from today till my move-in. Johnny and Mark from my crew have done a great job on this fence. It's coming along nicely. The fence holes have been a bear, but the fence panel's going real quick. So stay tuned for that future video on that process. But lights are on, electricians are here, carpenters here, a lot's happened. T-minus 5 weeks, let's get going. Man, it is great to see the house finally lit up. A lot has happened in 1 week. Electricians got almost all my decorative fixtures and almost all of my recessed cans in place. I did find a couple of errors. Here's one that, don't tell my wife about. This is a picture light that will have a piece of artwork or a family photo here. Turns out the base on this is a horizontal base. And so when we went to install it, we realized, oh shoot, we're missing, we made it as a round box. It should have been a square box. So one of my carpenters cut these. We're gonna Bondo them and spray them. Hopefully I can make that look good. But it's all those fine details here in the last couple weeks that add up to a fair amount of work and a fair amount of head scratching, including like my electricians when they were wiring all the outlets in my kitchen, realized, oh shoot, we've got an outlet going on here, but this is a pocket door. We knew we couldn't have it on the wall. We were planning on putting it in the cabinet. Let's cut to that footage and we'll show you what we did. Okay, so real-time troubleshooting here. This is the side of my cooktop here. I've got a live wire on there to put a plug in that I need by code because my closest plug's over there, but I got a drawer and I've got a panel there. All right, here's the plan. We decided we're gonna cut out an outlet and go horizontally right here. We'll go 1 inch past here, and then the outlet will come over, and we'll use a screwless plate like we've got on the rest of the kitchen, and then it'll basically just be in this upper corner. And then these drawers are hardwood drawers, so I'll be able to cut out, not this drawer, the one above, but I'll be able to cut out just a corner of that drawer, so the drawer will come in and out, and the outlet box will come into this space. But that's the best bet, I think, to meet code and look as good as possible. Another big thing that happened this week was the tile guys finished up tile and grouted. This is all Clay Imports tile, and a local tile installer, the Tile Press, did an amazing job. This looks fantastic. I love how it turned out. I've got to figure out how to get my hood in. I've got a 2-inch gap that I messed up when I ordered my crystal cabinets, bigger than what I need. So I need to get a piece of stainless to fit in here before I put that Fantech hood insert and get all the ductwork installed. I also noticed, if you look up there, that my ductwork got cut off a little higher than I probably should have, so we got a little scratching to figure out there. Jeff, my HVAC installer, and I will have to figure out how to do that. Another minor mistake I made, this isn't installed yet, this is my HVAC in my kitchen, because my recessed unit here, this is a Mitsubishi recessed, is too high. I didn't account when we installed it for my 3/4 wood ceiling. So we've got a few adjustments to make. Monday, I've got a rough construction clean, and we'll get rid of all the packaging. I'll be able to show you next week really what the kitchen looks like. But by the way, it is Friday, but we're not actually drinking on the job. I've got Caesarstone countertops. If you're not familiar, it's a quartz product. Here's actually the a cutout from my actual counters that was left over from when we cut the cooktop out. And this quartz is really impervious, but I'm curious how impervious, especially compared to marble. And the quartz that I bought from Caesarstone looks a lot like a marble. It's a darn good fake. So next week, I'm gonna pour some wine and some coffee and some other things on these samples, and we'll see what that look like. So I'm not actually drinking on a Friday. One mistake I made, this is my built-in fridge and freezer. I messed up my panel, so I gotta fix this. We got a new, got some trim basically on order that will fix this, but the recessed panel here didn't quite fit with the way the Miele ice maker on the door fits. So I need to do a little work here, but since the power got on and the lights are on, I want to turn this on for the first time. I'm really excited about this. My first built-in fridge in my whole life. I got Miele for the whole house. I put, oh, look at those lights. Oh man, I suspect these are all adjustable too. Oh man, that is really nice. Golly, I heard the compressor kick on. So this is 30 inches wide, and I may hold off on turning this on until my water line is hooked up. But this is 18, so in total I've got 48 total inches of built-in. And the guys did such a nice job on this install. This was black rhino. See how these trim pieces are on here? It just really kind of caps it off and makes it look nice. I'm gonna let the refrigerator run on the weekend though. We'll put some cold water in there for the crew. The windows and doors in the back of the house finally got painted. These are Fenster, and they were natural wood when I originally ordered them. I didn't like that look. You can see the kitchen now that it's all painted kind of goes away. Whereas before, when they were yellow and kind of natural colored, they stood out a little bit. Now on the outside of the house, they're unclad. I'm gonna leave that. I think it looks good in the back, but I wasn't loving it here. We still are messing with switches. We'll have to turn all those on and get these working. So stay tuned for that. We're not quite there yet. We're also almost done with this railing. Actually messed one thing up on my time of my carpenter, and he got a half day in and had to go away for a week on another job. He's back today finishing. This railing from View Rail is really a one-day install, but we ended up doing it in 2 days for some timing issues. If you saw my trim and my paint videos, I'm absolutely thrilled with the way this master bedroom turned out. We got the fan in this week, and we got almost all the grills and registers on. Now I used some commercial grade grills and registers, and if you're not familiar with more commercial style, often they're screwless, which I didn't necessarily need screwless, but I do like the bar grills, those kind of linear bar grills, rather than the stamped steel. You know, these are probably in the neighborhood of $30 or $40 per grill for one of these, especially a big return like this. But man, they look so much better. And the HVAC guys, when they install them for me, they normally go ahead and caulk those to the drywall. That's a critical step. If your house doesn't have that, I highly recommend it. What they're doing is they're taking a bead of a high quality painter's caulk, a latex caulk. We use Big Stretch in the whole house, so we use that there as well. And we're caulking the boot to the drywall. What we're doing is we're making sure that air doesn't travel back up there, but if you'd have a traditionally built house that has insulation up in the attic, you're trying to make sure that you don't get any airflow, any communication between your attic and your house. Now my HVAC equipment in my attic is all part of the air conditioned envelope, so I'm not as worried about that, but I do want to reduce sound transmission between kids' bedrooms, let's say, and I also want to make sure that if I've designed this system to put a certain number of CFMs out of that grill over there, that I'm getting that certain number of CFMs out. And when we finish commissioning the system, we're going to put a flow hood on there and verify that we're within 10% of the intended number. So master bedroom's probably what, 130 CFM, let's say, out of that. We're going to make sure that we're within 127 to 140 something CFM to make sure that that's really working right. Big props to my electricians. They've done a great job the last day or two getting everything rolling. I'd flip these switches, but I'd probably light Sparky up over here. Sorry, Sean and Dane. We're almost ready to fire these up. These are Kohler, these are Kohler fixtures here, and these are the same finish as my Kohler fixtures that are coming in. Hopefully my plumber is going to start this week. He's been super backed up. I am nervous about that. And then these are Robern, which is actually a Kohler company as well. If you're not familiar with Robern, these are made in New Jersey. All American made, American company, very, really high end and very nice. And so this medicine cabinet has ganged with it 2 lights on either side. I got a video coming out kind of showing you the start to finish on how to install these. The other thing that happened this week that we lit up that you haven't seen yet is my master closet. Isn't this awesome looking with all these LED recessed Again, I have a future video on this. I did 2 different closet systems in the house. This happens to be California closets. And then I used my buddies at Tube for everything else in the house for closets. So we're gonna do kind of a comparison video between this system and what we did as a more custom carpentry. Here we go, lights are on. And, yeah. Oh baby, look at that. That looks awesome. I gotta work on the Keller temperatures though. Check this out. These bulbs are a 3000 Kelvin. These are variable. I bought the ones that vary from 2800 to like 5000 Kelvin. And that looks pretty white compared to this. So I suspect these are set from the factory at like 5000 Kelvin. I want these two to match as much as possible. So we're gonna have to do a little work on that. I'm gonna flip these back off for you, Dane.
Thank you, sir.
Electricians are doing an awesome job. Really just lighting upstairs is new, so I won't take too much time on that. But the big thing for me is trying to make sure I get my plumbers on site. And then Monday, I've got a really exciting day. We're ripping off all the covering. We're putting all the final doors that have been painted on. And then we're starting on hardware. So we're gonna film next week when we do the T-4 video. Stay tuned for that. I got a couple tips on installing hardware and how to do it and where to place it. And we'll be starting on this cool lighting system that I installed that's pretty darn affordable. I think you're gonna like this. It's part of the Halo Home system. Guys, if you're not currently a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. You know, I just passed 900,000 subs last week. I'm really trying to get to that 1,000,000 mark. It'd be a big deal for me to hit 1,000,000. And I feel like I'm almost at that level, so do me a favor, hit that subscribe button below. As my kids would say, mash that subscribe button below. Follow me on Twitter or Instagram, otherwise we'll see you next time on The Build Show.